Hello, everybody. Welcome back to another segment of the Pivoted Success podcast featuring Sean Cochran from TCC Canada and myself, Jared Goldsmith from eSAX Virtual Events. Today, we're very pleased to be joined by Sergey Poltev from CAPITALTEK. Sergey, thank you so much for joining us today.
Thank you for having me.
Sergey, let's talk a little bit about your background. Who are you and what is CAPITALTEK all about, please?
Sure. So I'm a true techie. I was so I run an IT firm here in Ottawa, and what my background is basically computer science. But before that, I really learned how to fix computers myself, and since the age of 12, when my parents first bought me a first computer, who I was begging for a couple of years, finally got it. In a couple of weeks, the computer was broken. Because again, I was trying to fix it. I was trying to do some upgrades, and and that's the story of how I started. Because um, you know, parents told me we're not buying you anything anymore, so you're gonna have to figure out how to fix it. So I was interested in computers, and this is how I naturally started my passion. So
So
technology is
even
my
back then, Sergey, you found more enthusiasm by taking it apart and learning it how it worked and putting it back
yeah.
together.
Absolutely, absolutely. And yeah, since then, technology is my passion. I love all things tech. I love helping people with technology and especially businesses. So that's how it started. I pursued my education in IT and really became a computer guru, computer expert. And now I continue that passion as up until today.
Well, I have to say, Sergey, you and your team are phenomenal at it. I'm very pleased that you're managing all of my tech. So thank you very much for all that. How were you, Sergey? Actually, let's break this up into two. How were you personally affected by COVID? And then how was CAPITALTEK affected by COVID?
Sure, of course. Personally, myself, the actual when COVID hit, my well, first of all, I couldn't really go out. My partner, she's a medical professional. We started freaking out, of course, and overall effect at the end, like the lifestyles change, not just me. I'm pretty sure everybody's can relate on a lifestyle change. the I always try to find positive things in anything. As an entrepreneur, we have to pivot, right? We have to figure out the better way of doing things, learning things. So for me, it's a big change happened. I started working out more, being more efficient with my time, finding time for meditation and other things. So it's really on personal level. Yes, it helped me in many ways. I miss previous style of, yes, some of the aspects like hanging out with friends in person. It was hard, but in general, I found many positive things. Start working out with a fitness trainer, as I said, reorganize my office. So there's so many things that I found to do. In the beginning, of course, there was a little bit of Netflix time, but then I said, no, I don't want to do this anymore. I want to focus on growth, personal growth and professional growth. So that
I
was
would like to
my
think that a lot of people who were faced with, well, actually, we're all faced with COVID, but those who sat and watched all of Netflix, like they finished Netflix, versus those who made a difference in their personal life, working out, like you're saying, eating healthy, cleaning, working on the business. I wonder which of those people would be more ahead in their entrepreneurial career.
Well, for me, I think it's all about compound effect, So there's a little story that I like to always go back to when there's two people, and let's say we take two similar type of person, and one of them will just do small change in their daily life. So, for example, reading a new book every week, or just doing a little bit more prospecting to help their business. So that's small. It's just a small thing, but if you do it every consistently, you'll make that compound effect. And for me, it's a big thing. Just we don't have to do a lot. Many people think, oh no, I'm too tired. I can't work out. just start with 5 minutes a day, or just make one phone call a day, then grow to two, etc. So yeah, compound effect. For me, it's huge.
And how would you do that in your business, Sergey? If you want to change something, it's hard to initiate change overnight, but a little bit at a time. Would you be able to give an example?
Yes, absolutely, absolutely. So in business, and it's all about different actions that you take every single day. I like to set up a plan for every day. For example, when I either before day or in the morning of the day, you just make a little plan. And I found you have to write down things that you can actually do, not something that it's not dependent on you. So it's in a way it's creating the tasks for a day that allows you to be more efficient. And in my business, we found that it's not just servicing clients; it's also finding new clients. As every business, trying to find new business, new customers. So prospecting or sales and marketing, I found that's something that many businesses struggle. And again, if you do one thing at a time, like prospecting, I call it weekly prospecting. I really look into what are the clients who I'm trying to help, who I'm looking for, what are the best clients that suits my business. And we just basically creating a list with my team and trying to find who's our best clients. We're putting it all in CRM. Technology has a lot to do with this. So we use a lot of different tools because we can't do it all by old school ways. And I can talk a lot about technology. We use 50 different tools in my business, different software packages. And I think like I need to start my own podcast to talk about.
That would be a great idea. Maybe something to consider because
Sounds
technology is always changing, and you who eat, breathe, sleep, love technology can always be on the cusp of it as the go-to. I probably watch it. I'm still using Excel for my database. I know we've had some conversations about that.
Yeah, sound cool.
It's so great to hear, Sergey, that you sort of turned the sort of looking glass inward when all of this happened. So you looked at yourself, you looked at your business, and you looked at even just little ways that you can sort of fight your way out of this weird situation. Because like Jared was saying earlier, there's a lot of people that gave up because this is something out of the ordinary, right? So it's not something we're used to dealing with. So it's a lot easier to sort of fold inward and just sort of give up, turn on Netflix, grab a bucket of ice cream and just go for it, right? But I mean, in reality, that's not how you're going to get better, how you're going to better yourself, how you're going to get through this. So I think it's great that you sort of turn that looking glass inward. Did you find in the beginning that was sort of natural, or you had to sort of fight the urge to sort of be more sedentary?
No. I just said I didn't like the actual be a couch potato. I tried it for a couple of days, but then I said no. So really, it gave me so much opportunity, like so much time I saved commuting, or doing other things. Like we start doing groceries only once a week instead of like going daily, and then it gives you more extra time. So what do you do with all this extra time? So you need to really look back and see what are you trying to accomplish. Where do you see yourself in 5 years? That's really hit me at that time. It's like, wow, it's so cool. And so anyway,
So dialing back to March 16th or 17th or whenever we hit that lockdown period, from a business perspective, I would imagine from a technology specialist, you might have seen the reverse of a lot of the other companies and seen a bit of a boom instead of an immediate stop. So tell us how that was for you.
Yes, for me, we consider ourselves lucky in that case because we really grew through pandemic. We doubled our business, and it's mainly because of the people wants to work remotely. We need to help them, and so we introduced so many different new services, not just setting up people to work remotely, but educate them. So so now we recently just launched we partnered with password manager company, and we teaching people how to organize their passwords and how to manage them, and how to, the small things like this helps people, being more successful at their technology and managing it all. It's in different aspects of technology. It's not just your computer and microphone. Yes, actually, we've seen some other IT firms helping businesses setting up their Zoom studio or podcast studios, showing them which cameras to buy and things like this. So again, this is IT. As you probably have seen, many IT companies now grew up and all their stocks went up because of the demand. Zoom became number one. Jared's platform is booming, which I love a lot. So the I guess for me, I'm considered to be one of those businesses who went up. If you compare that to restaurants or tourism. So yes,
But all that to say, Sergey, is we shouldn't be ashamed. That's why we started this podcast, is to help offer inspiration and wisdom for others. But you're only in business to help other people and organizations succeed. That's why you're here.
Correct, absolutely. And it gives us the growth also gave us opportunities to give more. We've created some new campaigns. We created a new campaign called Compute Aid, where we are asking for donations from our existing clients and future clients of all the old technology, which we refurbish and provide as a donation to people who need them. And we've had so many good cases when organizations reached out. They didn't have the budget to have certain technology put in place, so we did that. We partnered with Ability First. We donated technology to them. So it's before COVID, we couldn't even actually think about that. Now we grew and we dedicated some of that budget and some of that effort towards helping others, even for free. So just kind of cool.
I didn't know that. That's a fantastic opportunity and resource to give back to the community. Actually, I know some people who have older computers and they don't know what to do with it, because I don't think many of the big box stores take them back.
Absolutely, yes. And most of the time, people don't know. They hold on their old computers because there's some data on them that they need to remove, and they don't never have time. So computers just lie down in their garages or basements and never get like basically becoming really obsolete. So we help we have special software that allows to completely destroy the application. We even give certificate of destruction of that data, and and this way there's win-win for both. So it's kind of like nice.
Well, it's good to know. Actually, I have a couple of old computers in the basement. I don't know what to do with. We'll be in touch soon, Sergey. Thank you.
Sounds good.
That's fantastic. What are you most excited about, Sergey? Let's put your looking fedora on, and let's say 6 months or a year from now.
Yeah, so I'm excited about again the changes that happened, and basically, because we're all getting vaccinated, things are getting reopened, and there's new concept, basically hybrid work that arises that allows people to work more remotely, and if they choose to, as well as being on start traveling or do other activities outside. So I personally think that we went through this massive change, and people said it's not going to go back to normal, but we're getting a new normal, which is hybrid work. And I see how my company is going to be helping organizations who wants to achieve that hybrid work environment. So it's not just working remotely, not working on site. It's a hybrid work. There's specific tools and applications we can provide to clients, consulting. So I'm really excited about that. That's basically a new way of working, and introducing some new softwares. It's
Do you think that the future of work might go to a 2 or 3 day work week where people go in and the other days they work from home still?
Yes, absolutely. That's I already studied and researched on this. That's what's going to happen in US. I'm sure in Canada the same thing. It's just much more. It's easier to find sometimes people remotely. It's for people who are already used to work remotely. They would rather stay working remotely. They'll be productive. technology allows us to be more productive. There's tools that allows employees to be more productive. Like even if you're on the call all day, there's software for that. There's all kinds of tracking tools, all kinds of efficiency boosts. We found a big boost in employee engagement platforms where team works together, even playing games and accomplishing tasks together. So absolutely, there's going to be a hybrid approach, 2-3 days a week. I personally even think even once a week, everything else remotely. So it's going to be 1 day a week where employees get together in the office, or again, but mainly it's hybrid. So there's going to be people who, let's say, can rotate. This week, 5 people will come to the office and the rest will be online, etc. So.
Well, actually, Sean, I'd like to loop you in here because you're a specialist when it comes to shared co-working spaces with TCC Canada. Would you care to comment on that?
Well, it's interesting from our perspective because, I mean, we've been playing the flexible workday and sort of hybrid office games from before it was cool. But now that it's become the in thing, I think it's great for people to leverage more flexibility and all that sort of stuff because there's a lot of opportunity for people to work the way they want to work now instead of it being this is how it's done. And everybody's different. There's some people, like you said, Sergey, that easily 1 day a week is enough, and others that would like to be in all the time. So, I mean, being able to give that flexibility and function as a hybrid team is going to be the big thing. So, again, utilizing those tools and having IT professionals that you can count on to make sure that what you're doing is collaborative and useful, but also safe and secure, because that's another big factor I'm sure you have to deal with a lot, Sergey, is the security behind it all, because everybody's at home on their home internet that often cases is not that secure. So I'm sure there's a lot of opportunity there.
Absolutely. And that's what Sergey, I meant.
There's one thing I just wanted to quickly go back to in regards to sort of the beginning of the pandemic. So obviously, business-wise, you saw a bit of a boom, and that's continued, I'm sure, which is great. But from your internal team, were you guys used to a hybrid environment, or was it more of a fixed location? And how was that transition for you?
Yeah, so we only had maybe 20 to 30% remote before pandemic, and now we're opposite. So again, that's where the pivot happened for my organization. I realized that we cannot grow faster finding technicians or finding other team members. So now we maybe gonna get to 10% on site and the rest of them remote, because we really realized that we can be a global organization. We don't have to be even stay in Ottawa. So which is kind of cool. We actually have a couple of clients outside of Canada now as well. So it's interesting. It's interesting approach, absolutely, because we had so much demand, so we have to hire more people. And during that time, it was hard to find people.
How about now, Sergey? We're hearing a lot about staff shortage, talent.
Yeah. It still remains the problem. So we, yes, finding good staff, it's hard. Especially, I can relate to it for myself as a business owner. But again, I'm coming through this as a technology professional. So there's software out there that allows you to screen applicants better, do tests. So we use a couple of different tools for that. In terms of finding, finding different incentives, it's very important as well. We introduced, within a team, incentives. If somebody's gonna find, recruit somebody to our team, they'll get a bonus. And so we're using all possible ways to do that. It is absolutely a challenge. People, and I think it has a lot to do because everybody's changed their minds about, maybe they're going through different profession change. They start learning new skills and they say, I don't want to do this anymore. I want to do this. I know many people start learning coding during COVID. Even my mom started to do coding. Can you believe that? So it's kind of cool. So anyway, so I think it is definitely a challenge. I personally think there's an opportunity still to find good talent because you can hire outside of your city. You can hire somebody remote. You can do better recruiting efforts, and you can do better information tracking from technology tools, which I can share later.
Right. That's a good lead into the next question. How have you helped others to adapt? Two things come to mind right away. I know you're very active in giving workshops, let's say, with our local Invest Ottawa here in town, as well as you're promoting so much great original content on, I think it's LinkedIn, Facebook, and probably a few other platforms. Can you talk a bit how you've helped others to adapt?
Sure, of course. Well, it's the nature of my business is to help people to adapt to new way and soon to be like a hybrid way of working. Yes, as I said, I reached out to Invest Ottawa to see if there's an opportunity for me to be their tech expert, and now I'm on their monthly workshops. So the next workshop would be on Teams and Google Meet, and we want to teach and provide information on how to use technology to run your business better. So yes, absolutely. I found education is important because people don't really. It's not about just getting a tool; it's knowing how to use it. What's the benefit of this tool? How can it make your life easier? So education number one, of course. The second is we start doing as I mentioned, the tech donation program, Compute Aid, which is kind of this is what made me personally feel better about like I remember that lady, she couldn't she needed to talk to her parents, and she needed this video conference, so we donated an iPad for her that was picked up from a local company who never used it. There was a battery issue, and so we just fixed it up and provided it to her. It was kind of nice. So just my personal thing. And then I would say, helping people with their technology in a way where it's not just education, it's not just a setup, but also supporting it when they need help. So let's say, many people reaching out to us during the calls when the camera is not working. So we set up lots of different articles on how to troubleshoot this better and faster. And of course, we shared many of them on social media. I think our social media grew like double at least. And we're constantly putting new content.
Sean, over to you.
Yeah, no, that's great. It's so interesting too, just the whole technology side, because everything you hear in the news is technology, 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 and being able to help these companies not only deal with their existing technology issues, but creating this hybrid office that we're all sort of trying to create one at a time, right? So
that's right.
So in terms of the future, you mentioned, I mean, obviously looking forward to things opening up and all that sort of stuff. What do you see in your organization's future in terms of growth and this future hybrid office that's going to be hopefully what looks to be our new normal?
Yes, so absolutely. So we already see potential. First of all, we're adding new services, so we launched the educational service for Microsoft 365 platform, which tend to be very popular now. So we're launching and promoting education as part of our offering. Going outside of Ottawa, as I mentioned, there's communities. We're going to start maybe local, going a little bit outside of Ottawa, smaller cities, Kingston, and just promoting our services there. And expanding by hiring more people outside of, working more remotely. We even have techs working remotely who are in Ottawa, but we have techs who are working outside of Ottawa as well. So yeah, I think this is big thing now. It's to, company like Shopify, their headquarters used to be Ottawa, but now it's worldwide. Like they don't have a headquarters, right? So same thing with us. We want to be able to, my company's CAPITALTEK. We're based in capital of Ottawa, and we're always going to stay like that. But it's no more capital. We can service outside of capital for sure.
It's interesting you brought up Shopify, because Sean over at TCC Canada took over the old Shopify headquarters on downtown Ottawa.
Yes, I love that. That's great.
Yeah, it's interesting to hear too, because like you said, people are looking more global. And I mean, we've been a pretty globalized society as it was. But this really kickstarted all of that and helped everybody sort of realize that not only can they find business elsewhere, but they can find talent and all sorts of stuff outside of their normal backyard that they would have only looked in up until now. So I think that's a really nice sort of added bonus of this awful scenario, right?
Correct.
Okay, so your personal future, I guess it's tied into your business, your professional future is looking to keep growing, hiring more staff, helping more people. Is there anything else that you think your organization might be doing in the next 6 months or so?
Yeah. So, well, at this point, we're focusing right now on developing a couple more series on workshops to help people understand technology even better. Yeah, we're looking into possible, opportunities, joining like doing some joint ventures with other firms as well to tap into certain markets. Like we work a lot with construction firms, architectural firms, medical and financial industries. So looking forward to work with you guys. And Sean, I'd like to, you know, collaborate with TCC and Jared with you guys. Absolutely. Again, it's all about giving back, and it's all about business is service. We just need to. I need to get better at service. How can we do this service better? I always think about this every day. I like to go back to Airbnb founder who did this exercise with their employees about he was tasked to find out how can we make our experience better, not just 5-star but even more. So he talked about okay, we can get a limo sent to get personally deliver the person at who's going to stay at our place. It's going to be 6-star. What would be next? So we're always thinking, and I think they had 11 stars actually, and 11-star service was Elon Musk will actually pick them up personally, take them to space, and then deliver them back to their apartment. So of course it's out of ordinary, but we always need to think about this out of ordinary experience. So in the next 6 months, well, I don't have exact plans, but I'm planning to roll out some very high-end experience service to all our clients. So I can't say right now, but maybe in 6 months when we talk, I'll let you more about that.
Well, I'm looking forward to seeing that, because ever since I've known you, Sergey, you've been so community minded, trying to collaborate with others. And as we all know, when you do so, we all advance together versus the small-minded competitiveness trying to do it on our own. So congratulations. That's a great way to look at the business.
Thanks.
Words of wisdom, Sergey. How would you chat with people who may be struggling during COVID in their business? What types of wisdom would you be able to offer them?
Yeah, so I would say, don't always be positive. For me, I think it's we live in this bipolar world. There's always going to be negative things, but they will always gonna be the positive things will always come, and it's like black and white, and day and night. So if we're going through this period of problems and depression or whatever you name it, or sales are down, you'll get everything back. There'll be a period anytime that everything is going to come back. And the next point is I think I talked about it today, is the small changes. Do small changes every day, but do them consistently. That the compound effect that I was talking about really makes a difference. Another example, I would say, if you would fly on a plane, and if the plane's flying and they just do small off course, let's say, I don't know, couple of degree off course of their destination, they will go completely to a different spot at the end. So it's something with you, so if you're trying to improve somewhere, if you want to learn something, or you want to achieve certain results, or lift more weights, you just do very little every day, and you'll be surprised about the results later.
You know, even on a bit more of a personal side, somebody might look at their basement, which is a huge mess upside down, hasn't been touched in 20 years, you know, the kids and all that. But if you spend 5 minutes a day moving a few things, tinkering around, hopefully in a month or 6, it will all be cleaned. Yeah.
Yes, absolutely.
No, I think that's such a great point, because again, people often will set these ridiculous goals for themselves, which are unattainable if you try to go from 0 to 100. But doing little bits at a time, it's amazing, like you said, the compound effect of what you can achieve, even in little micro doses. So like you said, people are like, well, I don't have time to work out. We'll start with 5 minutes. I don't have time to take a walk. I don't have time to do this or that or whatever it is. Start it in small little increments, like you said, and sort of work it up from there. Just don't try and win the marathon when you haven't run any practice races, right? So just like little bits at a time to sort of build you up to where you need to go.
Yeah.
That's a good analogy with the airplane. I like that. Sergey, what about the community? How can the community help?
Yes. Well, community is all about working together, and really understanding the what everybody needs to do at that point. Everybody can do certain, like every person is part of the community. So it's like having it, again, it kind of reminds me about this effect, because if one person does something, the other people want to do the same. So you can only build community if you yourself do something. So in particular, during COVID, how community can help, you guys talked about, supporting small businesses. I would say getting gift certificates for, ask how you can help, what kind of referrals can this business have. Look at your list of contacts and refer the businesses their way. I would say, create kind of learning, educate. If you can't give something, or you can't give referral, educate, provide some valuable information. I know many changes are happening right now in, say, government, some new laws passing, and so you just talk about this if you're an expert in that field. So in the community, if you're an expert, like for me as a technology advisor, I don't mind sharing resources, tools that we use that helps us, or tips and tricks of technology that can save you enormous time in every day, which you can use this time to work out, like Sean said, or some other things, right? So it's all like, imagine if there's a community that each person can help do little bit of education, a little bit of help. How big the impact would be if it's going to be thousands of people in the community. So
What comes to mind right now, Sergey, is we're talking about social media content. You're so good, your organization, by putting out content that people and their organizations find useful for technology. Engage, comment. Hey, that was a great video, or hey, I'm doing this. What do you think of this?
Oh,
And
yeah.
that type of engagement, I wish more people in the community would do.
Absolutely. I like that, Jared. Absolutely. I can relate to, because again, it's all about algorithms, right? So YouTube channel, if somebody's starting YouTube channel, try to help them out. So it's free, right? It doesn't cost them anything. Engage. So again, I think maybe the people just need to be educated a little bit of why is it important.
Yeah.
Why is it important to get, it's like a new currency right now. Followers is a new currency, right? So it's having people engaging and understanding, like, okay, so you liked something, don't just put like, maybe say a comment, or share the link. Absolutely. I like that,
Yeah.
Jared.
Well, it's all those little ways that we can help each other that doesn't necessarily involve a lot of time. If you're very busy, it doesn't cost you any money. If things aren't great right now, it's the little things we can all do to help each other. And all of the small business together, I mean, it's just those little things that start to add up. And again, just the compounding effect, even with stuff like that, right? So.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I made a comment, I think a video not too long ago about short of buying or purchasing somebody's goods or services, engaging on social media is the next best thing to support local small business. Yeah.
Love it.
Anything else that you'd like to add, Sergey? We're getting near to the end of our segment today.
No, I think just stay positive, do small things, utilize technology. Technology is maybe I'll wrap up with that because for many people technology is could be a negative thing because my computer doesn't work. I hate technology. Oh, my password, or I got hacked on Facebook, or something else happened. So there's a negative part, but for me, technology is a positive thing. But it happened when my parents bought me that computer, and after I fixed it, I realized that wow, that's a powerful technology. Like I can help people with that. People can take advantage of this, So utilize some of the tech, especially there's free technology available online. And again, you can build communities, you can create your own podcast like we're on today. You can do so much things with the technology. And if anybody wants to talk to me directly, please reach out. CAPITALTEK.ca, Sergey at CAPITALTEK.ca. Yeah, I'll be glad to help or answer any questions and collaborate with any projects or anything like that.
Well, thank you, Sergey. It's so great to chat with somebody like you who has that community mindedness, and we wish you all future success. So thank you very much for joining us, Sergey.
Thank you very much. Thanks, Sean.
And today we were joined by Sergey Poltev from CAPITALTEK on behalf of my co-host Sean Cochran from TCC Canada and myself, Jared Goldsmith from eSAX Virtual Events. Thank you for joining us, everybody. Stay safe.